But right now we want to have some fun with the question deck, don't we? And if
Absolutely.
anybody is watching us and they want to participate as well and give us their own thoughts on this, feel free. But what we do is I've created a question deck, and what we do is generally we pick a question from the top of the pile, and then we spread out the tarot cards in a pile below us here and on the table, and we draw a card and we try to answer the question from the question deck. And I think you'll get the idea as we go along. We try to use the symbology of the tarot, our intuition or creative imaginations, combined with the symbology on the tarot and the images to answer the question presented to us. And we'll show the cards to the audience, so if you want to participate as well and we can hear what you think on the chat, that'd be great. Okay, this is a very interesting one. Can I get a look at a possible past life?
So do you think this question pertains more to yourself then?
Well, maybe. Or how about we just say, well, looking at the card, what kind of past life would this reveal? If we were reading for someone, okay? What would we tell them about a past life from the image we see on the cards? Oh boy, this is a challenging one. Oh, very interesting. I drew the Eight of Cups upright. And so what I would say, if I could start,
Go ahead.
I think this person is somebody who throughout their lives may have been suffering from a bit of maybe not so much suffering, but maybe they had a bit of wanderlust. They kept moving from one thing to the next, possibly one location to the next. Maybe they lived a rather nomadic existence.
Well, for me, I would say that it might have been a person who had the typical midlife change too. That's a possibility. Somebody who just changed streams abruptly or somewhat strangely or differently than normal. Somebody who really made a break with an old life and went to a new life. It could just be maybe that it was more of a minor decision to do that. Or maybe to me it represents more of a shift.
If I had to pick maybe some type of past life experience, I'm not sure what time frame this would be, but this could maybe be some type of minstrel or entertainer because the cups are kind of creative cards. Maybe somebody who was a bard, perhaps, who went from place to place to perform.
And for me, the possibility is more in a modern context that I could say that maybe this card is really maybe somebody who learned that money wasn't everything and so
Oh,
abandoned
that's
some
true.
wealth. So in the modern era, that could be somebody who was some sort of more ruthless capitalist and then realized that when they needed it the most, money couldn't help them. And so they decided to go back to school, go to the Peace Corps, go to social work, go to something that was more helpful. But those are equally valid past lives. So why not?
That was really pretty good, actually. I like that. So I'm going to put that on the bottom. We're just going through this. I don't even look at them in advance. We're going to try another one. Unless anybody else has any comments about that they'd like to share, we're going to move on to another question. Oh, here's an interesting one. How can one turn dreams into reality? What does one need to do to turn their dreams into reality? I'll let you pick the card this time, Mr. O.
Alrighty.
Oh,
By boldly going.
by boldly going where no man has gone before.
Okay, if reality is about, figuring out what enterprise you're involved in life, then the knight represents somebody who feels very confident, but is also somebody that we ourselves would feel we could trust them and that we would follow their lead, their initiative. So this is saying that you are that person. You are that Knight of Wands. You are the person who can boldly go forward and perhaps figure out what it is you need to do to challenge those things in life that will reflect on what your goals are, to set up the enterprise, to set up business, to set up points of attraction between yourself and people who you will network with. So maybe it's just about creating a chain of friendship. Maybe it is about something more.
Well, I kind of feel like, yes, that the Knight is also saying that, in order for turning your dreams into reality, you can't just sit there and dream about them. Maybe the Page of Cups could kind of fall into that a little bit, but the Knight of Cups is ready to rush right in and do something about it. You have to do something. You have to take those steps and move in order to make, to bring it into reality and into fruition. I like that.
Yeah, I like that one. That one felt really good.
Yeah, so that was another cool one. Do we have time for one more?
We probably do.
Let's see how we're doing here. Yes, we have time. And like I said, if anybody else has joined our live stream and if you have a question for us, we'll be happy to stop what we're doing and answer your question. Okay, let's see. Okay, we answered
Discard
this
that
one
one.
already. We're discarding that one. The question was, who will be the next president? And
had
that
to
is
say
just too early for that.
Oh, you had to say
Obviously, that didn't get to the bottom of the pile. Oh, well, I feel like a god or goddess when... Maybe we should both draw a card for that one so that we can...
I feel like a god or goddess when stuff happens. What kind of stuff?
When... Why don't you draw your own card for this one, I think. Okay, I feel like a goddess when I drew a very masculine-oriented card for this one, but also it's kind of the card of Aries in a way because it's the Emperor and he's got rams on his throne.
But the Emperor is also the card for Scorpio because, of course, some of that symbology is Mars, and Mars is one of the ruling planets for Scorpio.
I'm sorry, I rule here. And as goddess, certainly I feel like I'm goddess when I am in control.
I have an astrology
When
book
I
just
am-
over there that says that that's also my card as a Scorpio.
When I am master of all I see. So bow to me,
I
Mr.
just
O.
have to figure out how to get you off of the camera. Let's see. Maybe that'll do it. Just for now.
Hey.
No, it was time to
Okay,
remind
I
everybody.
knew this
we're
was
on
a bad
Facebook.
idea, putting him in control of the live stream. I just knew.
I am in power here. And
What do you have?
as befits a semi-ambiguous personality, I have pulled the reversed Page of Swords.
Oh.
So I'm feeling like a god or goddess when I'm out of control, or no, maybe when I'm extremely untacky, ungraceful, and definitely not diplomatic.
When you are when you are not being
Scorpionic.
politically correct. How about that?
When I'm being my
This
typical
so sounds like
scorpionic
you.
self, that's when I feel empowered.
Oh,
And of
dear.
course, it's me, but it's not necessarily likable me. So it is something to think about. I don't know if there's a lesson there or not.
Well, so as you see, you can answer these questions in a variety of ways, and even if you get a more negative sounding card, that just may fit. This is how people feel empowered, perhaps. And so this is the question deck, and I did get this idea from one of the tarot authors, Mary Kay Greer, who recommended that you create your own question deck, which I did. And so you can do this yourself if you have your own tarot cards or divination thing. Create a question deck and see how your cards would answer these questions. You can just, the more broader the question, or maybe, how should I say, maybe more far-reaching kind of questions, the better, because it can be fun really trying to answer these types of questions. The less specific, I think, the better. I mean, this isn't the kind of thing where you would be asking about, your boyfriends or your financial situation or things like that. More global kind of issues.
Gee, Banshee, I think I learned a lot about myself, but perhaps I learned as much about you, too.
Yes. Now you know.
Scary, isn't it?